welcome to ISTV News. I am Prasant Aung giving the news. For the top story at this hour, normal life cripples in Manipur following 18-hour general strike by Corcom and NLFT. Now the news in detail. Normal lives in Manipur came to a grinding halt following 18-hour general strike called by Corcom, a conglomerate of 7 UZs operating in Manipur and National Liberation Front of Tripura. The general strike was called to protest against forcible annexion of Manipur and Tripura to the Indian Union in 1949. It may be recalled that Manipur, an independent kingdom, was forcibly merged to Union of India on 15 October 1949. Business and commercial activities came to a halt as shutters were down and normal business at Kuala Bazaar came to a total halt. Passengers and inter-district and interstate buses were off the roads. Attendance in the government offices were rather low. School and education institutions remained closed. Movement of men and vehicles, including 2, 3 and 4-wheelers on the road, was very thin. Bank, cinema halls and petrol pumps remained closed. Till the time of filling this report, there was no any incidents of violence or untoward incidents. Foolproof security measures have been taken to avoid any untoward incidents. Role taken by journalists in Manipur is outstanding. This was stated by MLA Taiwan AC Joy Kishan in connection with the extension of Rs 5,000 as financial assistance to injured journalist Arubam Ranbir of Yunamlaikai Lairambi Mani. It may be worth to mention that Ranbir was fatally injured in a road mishap on 30th September while he was going to cover news for Irawat Day. He is in a critical condition as his collarbone was broken in the accident. Joy Kishan further said, despite poor equipment and salary, the work done by state journalists is quite commendable. He said he himself has high respect for journalists and went to aid that he will extend any possible help when journalists are in trouble. He wished early recovery of injured Ranbir.
Media actually now sina yamna ting tong na hojik lawriba thaudang sidaida akoi gi leiriba Manipur si pulaba state ta su hojik leiriba media personal sin pi riba corporate si akoi gi international gi thak ta ko sangdam laba ya boi phim yoksala bani akoi gi makoi di pi riba facility makoi di phangjari salary si gi technology ga di yam jati na makoi si nam wang tha am da leigre adu akoi gi leiriba pi bangam da su
Arubam Ranbir is presently working as a staff reporter in Sanalebag, Delhi, and he himself and family members have expressed gratitude and happiness to Joy Kishan for his humanitarian help. Khongkhang village, located few kilometers before reaching Lokchau in Imphal, More Road, sustains their daily livelihood by preparing fermentized bamboo shoot, locally known as suibum. Khongkhang village is a chote village and has around 300 heads. Raw bamboo shoots are brought from the forest and prepared by fermenting it for 20-25 days before it finally turns into suibum. They even send their children to outside the state for the studies by the income generated from preparing suibum. The best flavor suibum is prepared from Wapan variety of bamboo according to the villagers. Suibum prepared since August-September has been ready for selling in the month of January and February and is sold at Rs 50 per kg. According to the villagers, at times suibums are produced within 2 months also, and the best and the most flavored suibum are those which taken out 1 year time to produce. The suibum from this village has been sold at Palel and Kaching. Suibum is also sold from Rs 20-25 per kg and Rs 600 to 700 per 40 kg. Gas should not be allowed to enter while keeping inside plastic for fermentation. If insects entered while preparing it might spoil in the preparation. They also talk about the preparation of it to ISTV News. Chief Minister Oibobi, Speaker Lokeshwar, Home Minister Gakhangam and Parliamentary Secretary Muhammad Amin Shah have expressed happiness to the people of Manipur on the occasion of Eid al-Juha. In their greetings to the people of Manipur on the eve of Eid al-Juha, they maintained that the festival symbolizes true sacrifice. The greeting also maintained that it will be able to bring about better and a close relationship between various communities and will help in ushering an era of peace and tranquility. The festival also might bring peace, happiness, progress and development in our society. Press show for second production of Mark Film Division, Lingjel, was held at Kawa yesterday. The digital film, which is going to be formally released on 16 October at NMFDC, is produced by Saroja. T.H. Priyokumar is the producer, while Jitendra Ningomba is the director. Story and screenplay of the film. The story is based on the life of a woman whose husband was killed in a fake encounter. Muhurat ceremony for Bravura Films under Memicon Creation PAL was held at NT Theatre Sangangai yesterday. Commissioner Art and Culture R.K. Nimai, DC Imphal West Radha Kumar and Commissioner Consumer Affairs Food and Public Distribution Y. Thamkishore were also present on the occasion. Ningthauza Lansa is a director while K. Sunita is a producer of the film. Sadananda, Bala and Sonia are the main cast in the film. Muhurat ceremony for the digital film Sirasu Yare was also held at the Kongba Nandibam Laikai residence of Frank Nandibam yesterday. Story, screenplay and direction of the film is Ipu, while Bose Nandibam is the producer. Frank and Bala are the main cast in the film. Local wrestling known as Muna Takatnaba, which has been inherited from our forefathers as an important cultural tradition, was held at Ipathakok Sanglen Narimtong yesterday. Winners of the local wrestling were presented with prizes. Former DGP Y. Joy Kumar and other members of Ipathakok were also present on the occasion.
Ipathakok ki wakal karino ayda akoi inat ki leiseri ba kholi culture ki karigi adu akoi ki leilu myam se masi mang ba yade haibe ki wakal ga loina na masidai da atai atopa club na karina tongna da ba sium ba ma akoi ki ijati ki akoi ki leiri ba culture ki karigi masi semgat sakat ba masi tung koi bo le hona ba Manipur society acho contribution amani haina e adu mai tongna aina khanjai.
Heavy rain in the aftermath of cyclone Philin, which struck the Odisha coast over the weekend and has since dissipated, has triggered massive floods in several districts in the state. Over 2.5 lakh people have been marooned in Balasore, which along with the Mayurbans are the worst hit. The situation in Balasore is critical according to P.K. Mohapatra, the state's special relief commissioner, as flood waters from the Buddha Bangla and the Subarneka rivers inundated scores of villages. Nearly half of Baripada town in the neighboring Mayurbans district has also been submerged due to a worrying rise in the water levels in the river. Teams from the Army, Navy and Air Force, besides several disaster management agencies, have been deployed for rescue and relief operations in the region. We are starting airdropping of food packets in the Balasore district immediately. The flood situation in the district is a cause of concern, said Revenue and Disaster Management Minister S.N. Patron said. The death toll in the state due to the impact of the cyclone has risen to 27 after 4 people were killed today due to the floods in the Mayurbans and Bhadrak district. The pantry car of New Delhi bound Rajdhani Express from Dibrugarh in Assam caught fire early morning today. No casualties were however reported. The incident happened as a train was crossing through Assam's Dharmatul station at about 4 this morning. A short circuit is believed to have caused the fire. One of the 2 pantry cars that caught fire was then assaulted from the rest of the train to prevent further damages. The train left the station after a 5 hours delay. A 7.2 magnitude earthquake killed at least 32 people across the central Philippines on Tuesday, toppling buildings and historic churches and sending terrified residents into the deadly stampedes. Panic ensued as people spilled out on the street after the quake struck at 8:12 a.m. It was centered about 33 kilometers, 20 miles below Carmen Town on Bohol Island, where many buildings collapsed, roads cracked up and bridges fell. Extensive damage also hit densely populated Cebu city across a narrow strait from the Bohol, causing deaths when a fish port and a market roof fell. The quake set off a stampede in a Cebu gym where people lined up to receive government cash assistance, killing 5 and injured 8 others, said Nel Sanchez, provincial disaster management officer. In another city nearby, 18 people were injured in the scramble to get out of a sacking building where the assistance was being handed out. At least 16 people died in Bohol and 15 in Cebu, officials said. Scores were injured. A car bomb killed dozens of people in a rebel-held northwestern Syria on Monday as suspected jihadis freed 4 out of 7 aid workers kidnapped in the increasing volatile region. The bombing and abductions came as the United States stepped up its call for a peace conference between President Bashar al-Assad regime and its Western-backed opponents who are divided over the initiatives. The United Nations said meanwhile that the race is on to make sure Syria keeps to deadlines to destroy its chemical weapons arsenals under the terms of UN Security Council resolutions. The blast in the town of Darkus killed at least 27 people, including 3 children and a woman. The Syrian Observatory for Human Rights said, adding the death toll could rise because many of the wounded were in serious conditions. Activists said that the blast targeted the market area of the town, which is a few kilometers, that is a mile from the border with Turkey on the Otonars River. 4 of the kidnapped 8 workers were meanwhile freed. International Committee of the Red Cross spokespersons Ewan Watson said, adding the organization was awaiting further information about the others. Before we wind up, here is the headlines once again. Normal life cripples in Manipur following 18-hour general strike by Corcom and NLFT. That's all we have at this hour. Stay tuned for more news update.